Hi everyone, it's Diane, and it's another rainy day here in northeastern Pennsylvania. I don't know if it's rain that is part of the storm system that's headed for the East Coast. It seems like we're a little too far away and it's a little too early for that. We do get the rain from those hurricanes and tropical storms that hit south of us, but I don't know, this seems a little early for that. Anyway, it's raining. It started yesterday early evening, rained all night, and it's been raining all day, and it's already late afternoon here. So no flea market today, but I had a lot of errands to do. I'm working on a few Halloween junk journals. 2 of them are already spoken for. I'm going to list one in my shop at least. And so I was printing things for the junk journals, and I ran out of yellow ink. So since I had to run around anyway, I did that. I went to the post office. I know you want to know what my chore list for the day was, right? I'm getting there. I went to the post office and mailed half of the orders that my shop received over the last 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So thank you very much. My shop did a very brisk business this weekend. Not only were you purchasing the new items that I listed, but you went back in and grabbed some of the things that have been there a while, so I really appreciate it. So half of the things are listed or shipped, and I haven't marked them yet. I'll do that later when I settle down for the evening. I'll mark them as shipped and do the refunding of postage, and then the rest of them I'll take tomorrow and get them mailed. I just couldn't handle them all at once, which is a good problem to have, right? So anyway, while I was out and about, I had to go to Walmart, and look what I found. I needed a ruler. I needed to have a couple extra rulers because I have them in different places. Anyway, this was a nice metal ruler with the cork back to keep it from sliding, and it's pink, a pink metal ruler. So I grabbed that. I thought it was super cute. And I looked at fabric. This wasn't on sale or a remnant or anything. I just asked her to cut me a half a yard of this fabric so I can have plenty to make the spines with and maybe even use it inside for the Halloween journals. Aren't they cool? Someone requested quite a long time ago, she made this request, and I told her I would have to wait till September for me to make it, but she wanted a haunted house journal. So when I get into making the journal, I will show you the wonderful journal kit that I'm using for that, but I thought this was great for a haunted house journal, so it's going to be on the spine. And I got some other things while I was out, but first I want to show you this. When I got back from my shopping, I found this Happy Mail, and it's from Danielle. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but one of my great customers, and I just ripped the top open and didn't open the package because I wanted to go through it with you. Look at this. I can already tell it's gorgeous. It's vintage embroidery. So let's see what we have here. That's so nice. She probably knows, if she's been watching my videos, she knows I'm going to be making a few journals with a chocolate theme, because I got Mrs. Cog's chocolate images, and I have perfect book covers to use, and this is the perfect book. I love this. It's Baker's Chocolate, Book of Chocolate Riches. I might just have to use the recipes out of this. Looking for a publication day. Oh, 1985. Huh. My printer is acting up. If you heard that noise, it was just my computer telling me that my printer is no longer connected to my computer, which it should be because I plugged it in. It has a connecting cord, so sometimes it prints and sometimes it doesn't. When I have the cord connecting it, it should print all the time. Anyway, these are really great. I said 1995. It looks older than that, doesn't it? So I'm probably going to try some of these recipes because I do like chocolate, but I will definitely use this in my books. Now, oh goodness, look at all that gorgeous embroidery. This is mint. That's beautiful. This is oregano. Look at the pretty fluffy flowers there. And look at the two colors of yarn in the word. Oh, this one is that way too, green and purple. This one is pink and green. I love these. Rosemary. This has green and blue. So you not only get to see the leaves, the herb, which we might be familiar with, but we get to see the flowers. This is dill. I think we're familiar with the dill flower because that goes in the bottle sometimes when you're pickling things. Yellow and green here. These are so beautiful, Danielle. Thank you so much. I think it's, yeah, I'm sure it's Danielle Baytag. She wrote Danny B on the return address, but I looked her up and the address is right. There's some thyme, red and green. This workmanship is nice too. Can you see how nice those leaves are? Very nice. Sometimes the vintage embroidery and things that I buy, I like them just to use them in my projects, but sometimes the workmanship isn't so great. But this is. Chives. It's really pretty. Thank you so much, Danielle. I love these, and I will certainly use these. Hopefully I won't have to wait too long to make a journal project that will allow me to use them. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. So the other place I went, and other place, I had to go a lot of places. I had to go to the bank. I don't go to the bank very often because everything is done online, but I had a check I had to cash. I figured it was about time. I'd spend in my wallet for a couple weeks. And so on my way, I drove right by the little shop where I used to sell my Smash books a long time ago. And I figured I would just pull in and stop and see what was there. Sometimes I can find a couple things. But it's not a thrift store. It's more like an antiques and collectibles. It's got sections where people rent their space and then they have their own sections and do their own pricing. This time I found more than I normally do there, so I wanted to share it with you. First of all, I grabbed my reusable grocery bags, my shopping bags, when I went. And when I was taking care of my groceries, I found this in there. This came from one of the flea markets. And I never got to show it to you because it was still in the bag. I don't even know how many weeks ago it was. It's been a while. But it's these lace appliques. There's 4. This one's gorgeous. There's 2 of each. And it was $1 for the bag, so that was awesome. $0.25 for each of those. But here's what I got at the little shop called Serendipity. It's in the town of Sayre, Pennsylvania, S-A-Y-R-E. So the shop is called Serendipity. Serendipity, which is quite cute. I didn't want to rip this pretty craft colored tissue. So these tissues and doilies were near the front of the store, really cheap. They must have marked them down to get rid of them. Took the stickers off. But this one was 50 cents, and it's printed on handkerchief, but I just love that scallop design. I thought that was really pretty and well worth 50 cents. This, I don't know. This one was 50 cents too. And it's got lots of pieces I can cut off it. I think this one was $2 maybe. But it's also got beautiful, beautiful edging that I can use, and quite a few pieces that I could cut apart. And then I can use the linen in the center also. And I think this handkerchief was 50 cents. It's just a very old poppy handkerchief. It's quite pretty. And this was the first thing that caught my eye there in that basket. It's a bag of homemade yo-yos for $1. Now I had gotten some from 2 Etsy sellers, and I love them. You've probably seen me using them in some of my projects. I love them, but they cost more than $1 a bag. So I grabbed these. I like the fabrics in the ones that I bought from Etsy better than these, but I couldn't resist the price, so I got them. And I got this, I got 2 books, Roses You Can Grow, Better Homes and Gardens. This would make a really beautiful cover for a garden journal. And I'm going to see if I can, oh, here it is, 1978. The Charisma of the Rose. I didn't really look through it too much because it was pretty cheap. It was 50 cents. So I thought, well, I can use the cover, so I don't really need to look through it, but I figured there would be some pages I could use. That's pretty. Get those pink roses. Yeah, that's a nice book, especially for 50 cents. I like the back cover too. Yeah, this will make a really pretty journal. And the other one I got was this Professional Sewing Tips book. This one was $2. I was looking at my receipt trying to find the price. $2. And this will make a really good domestic arts journal cover. Plus the images. 1966. The images in sewing books are usually good. Very usable as pages in ephemera in junk journals. Especially the vintage ones. I like the images. And this is matte paper, so it's not glossy. So that wasn't bad for $2. Then I found this. I paid more for this. $4, but I'm sure you'll agree that it was worth it. Pocket Field Bird Guide, Land Birds East of the Rockies. The original price was $3.95. I paid $4 for it as a vintage item. And it was copyrighted 1951. The original copyright is 1906. So it's a landscape set book, and it measures, it's quite small, 3.5 by 5.5. So isn't it cute? I love this. But the pages are great. See if I can get to them. Oh, there's some owls. I just finished my owl journals. I can save these for when I make my own owl journal. But each page has one little picture, like a large postage stamp size, and then information about them. And probably I wouldn't cut them out and glue them down to something. I might just tuck them in tuck spots where both sides can be shown, or use them as flips or something, because I don't want to cover up any of the birds. This is a great book. I love this. I'm so glad I found it. It's an unusual find. And the prices were good. Sometimes the prices are high in there because it's not billed as a thrift store. It's more like an antique and collectible store. So here was my best find there in that store today. And she had to call the vendor because it was not marked. And thankfully she got a hold of the vendor, and the vendor said $3, which I was more than willing to pay. It's a whole booklet of these little coupons or tickets. 1918, City Market, Pine Avenue and 19th Street. This receipt is good for date punched in margin only, and it's got the number stamped there. And this was punched September 25th. So are all the pages punched? Yeah, they're all punched. Somebody didn't get to use all of their tickets. It was 25 cents a ticket, and I don't know how many are here. It doesn't look like too many were used. The cover is torn off. It may be that none of them were used, because it looks like, yeah, I don't see where any paper was torn off there, just the cover. Had a cover like that. So I don't know how many tickets are in there, but this was an awesome find, and that's a lot of tickets for $3. So I guess that's it. That's what I bought, and now I'm going to get started on the owl journals, hopefully. Got to do a little more printing now that I have my yellow ink, and then I can get started making not owl journals, Halloween journals. Thanks for listening to me ramble on today, and I'll be back with some Halloween journal projects pretty soon. Bye-bye.